Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
And I'm Coach Jay.
We're going to be jumping over to some wide receivers over the next couple of weeks. Look, you guys know we get a couple of these in the bank and then bring them to you on Sundays, typically early Sunday mornings. Tennessee got a couple of big weekends of recruiting as we're sitting down to record these. Both the guys we're going to drop to you over the next couple of weeks are going to be on campus. We are hoping when this airs, we are hoping we've got a new commitment in the bag with Boo Carter. Hey, we can throw it out there. Nobody can say, oh, you didn't say that. Let me tell you this right now. Boo Carter is a Vol at the time this is dropping. What do you think, Coach Jay? You feeling the Boo Carter to Tennessee vibe?
I'm here for it. I'm excited for Saturday night. It's going to be a big Saturday night. I think the baseball team gets a wind out there on the diamond, and I think Boo Carter jumps in the boat, and I think we get a little wide receiver love too, little goodwill towards those wide receivers with some connections to Boo Carter. I know we both have talked in length about the friendship between Boo and Mike Matthews, and Amari's in town. I know Bama's got a little bit of a jump with Amari, but I certainly think we can make up some ground there, and excited about the possibilities that this cycle is bringing. So
We're
very
two
excited.
minutes into this thing, and we have set ourselves up for disaster. If Boo committed to Michigan and Tennessee loses to LSU, we're getting all the hate on early Sunday morning from a lot of pissed off ball fans. But today we're going to be breaking down 4-star wide receiver Amari Jefferson. You mentioned the relationships, and that's a key here. This week we're breaking down Amari Jefferson. Next week we're breaking down Mike Matthews. Both of those guys will be in town visiting Tennessee on June the 23rd. Now, if Boo Carter did commit to Tennessee, he is supposed to be in town as well. We've talked about the relationships with Mike Matthews and Boo Carter playing AAU together. Just a big couple of weekends of recruiting. But you guys know the deal. Smash the thumbs up just below the video. Quick, free, and easy. It helps the channel. We would appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. We are building a community of Tennessee fans right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. Coach Jay coaches a little football out there on the West Coast, comes on and breaks down some film. That's what we're going to do today. If you like it, make sure you subscribe and click that bell for notifications. We're taking a look at Amari Jefferson, 4-star wide receiver out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, 6'1", 190 pounds. You can see there the On3 industry rankings have him as a top 10 player. Now, this comes from Charles Powers, On3 director of scouting and rankings. Excuse me, I'm reading the wrong notes. This comes from Simmons Scoop, Chad Simmons over at on3.com. He says Alabama, and Coach Jay just said this a little bit earlier, has had Amari Jefferson on campus a couple of times in recent months. The tide has started to shift a little. I see what you did there, Chad Simmons. He says before those visits to Tuscaloosa, Georgia and Tennessee look to be battling at the top with the Bulldogs, maybe having an edge. But after the official visit to Tuscaloosa, the Crimson Tide looked to be the team to beat. The two-sport star loves the Alabama offense and the chance to compete there. Now, he dropped his top 6 a little bit earlier in the month. Alabama, Georgia, Miami, Oklahoma, South Carolina, and Tennessee. Mentioned him being a two-sport athlete. Coach Jay committed to Tony Vitello to play baseball at the University of Tennessee. Something worth noting, when he came in town for the Alabama visit, he was unable to meet with their baseball team. They were still in the postseason play, so he couldn't meet with them. Very highly rated prospect. I know recruiting in football is a little bit different than baseball. Perfect Game has him ranked as a 9 out of 10, which equals a potential top 10 round pick and or the highest level college prospect. What do you think about a guy like Amari Jefferson that's a two-sport athlete? Do you think in the grand scheme of things, when it's all said and done, do you really see him playing both sports?
I normally I want to say no, right? I mean, how many times have we talked about, oh, this kid, he's going to run track, he's going to come play baseball, he's going to play basketball, and then they end up a tight end or something like that, and they never end up on the court or on the diamond or vice versa. It's just when you're refining your craft at the collegiate level, right? That's just basically like 1A to the pros. You're basically in the minor league. So when you are taking that giant step up, it's just going to be harder to maintain both things, right? It takes your your Bo Jacksons, your elite. I mean, the top 0.0001% of athletes that can do that. I haven't been fortunate enough to watch Amari on the diamond yet, but I know one thing: if he is that good, then heck yeah, I'd go to Tennessee. We got it going on in baseball. I saw that Bama just uh, their number one player right now just hit the transfer portal. So shoot, he might even be evolved by the time this video comes out. We'll see. I don't know if they're allowed to bring people in while they're out there winning the World Series of college baseball, but I think it can be done. But I think it's just that elite level of prospect that can do such things.
Yeah, because you got to realize the baseball season's going on during spring camp, and I don't know what Josh Heupel believes in. I think Amari Jefferson's probably being told that he could play both. What does Nick Saban think about a wide receiver, a 4-star wide receiver, telling him, "Hey, I'm not going to be at spring practice. I got baseball to play." That's the interesting dynamic to the whole thing. Does Nick Saban really open himself up to let a player do that?
Something tells me no, right? I mean, Saban don't even like to call people by their first names for a year or two, or last names for a year or two. Just calls them by their numbers. Some true old school treatment, and something tells me that old school attitude wouldn't jive with him very much to have him missing time working his craft, and he would need to miss the time. I mean, hey, look, if he's really that good, I'm not telling anyone anything new. Baseball is hard, man. Once you get to an elite level, baseball is hard. It is hard to hit a 99-mile-per-hour fastball. It is hard to hit a baseball that is breaking at your head and ending up at your feet. You need to be working every day. And football's hard too. All the footwork, all the timing. You just need that time to develop. So we'll see. He's got a lot of athleticism, and time will tell.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's the 1% of the 1% that can do both at the same
Hmm.
time, because the higher you get up the ladder, the more work you got to put in to play at that elite level. But you guys know the deal. This is the film breakdown with Coach Jay. So we are going to take a look at a little film for Amari Jefferson, the 4-star wide receiver. I did just want to say this. Tennessee is expected to take 4 wide receivers in this class. So there's a couple of names I'm going to be taking a look at over the next coming weeks, because we all know Amari Jefferson. We all know Mike Matthews. We all know Ryan Wingo. J.J. Harold decommits. He's back out there on the market. Can Tennessee get him back in the boat? If not, where does Tennessee look? We'll be getting to that coming up over the next couple of weeks. But here we go. Amari Jefferson got a few plays to look at. What do we got, Coach Jay?
Yeah, absolutely. We got deuces out there, so two wide receivers, both to the top and the bottom of the screen. We're looking at second and long here. What we're going to get though is kind of like a lazy play action on a little bit of a low snap, 10-yard comeback to Amari, who is going to be the X wide receiver at the top of your screen. Looks like they're against a 3-3-5, or version of the 3-3-5 anyway. DB's playing a little bit off. Why don't you go ahead and let this one run just for a little bit here, Boogie, about to the point where the quarterback lets the ball go here. Go ahead and take a look at his break. Mari has nice breaks, nice low to the ground. You see him on the sharp comeback. He's gained a little space. And when this ball finally does get to Amari, you're just going to see how fluid he is with his hips, how well he runs the ball. And you can let it go, Boogie. Just how well he slides underneath the first guy, slides underneath, hits the old R1 button right on him, and then cuts all the way across the middle of the field. Who, if you're not Reggie Bush, if you're not Bryce Brown, I wouldn't recommend trying that in the college game. But Amari has some absolute wheels, and you see how elite his hips are here. You see how he runs them off, cuts through, hits the old L1, R1 button, whichever side we were on, cuts across the middle of the field. Although he did have an IQ and pick up those cross field blocks right there. So I'll forgive him for not getting north and south maybe as quickly as he should have on that play.
A lot of people want to talk about stargazers, 5-star versus 4-star. if I'm Amari Jefferson, I'm feeling like this fan base, the Tennessee fan base, isn't showing me the love because everybody's talking about Mike Matthews. Everybody's talking about Ryan Wingo. But from everything that I've seen, everything that I've read, Amari Jefferson, pretty dang high up the recruiting board for Tennessee, if not right up there equal to Mike Matthews and Ron Wingo.
Yeah, and we've talked about it. We talked about it with Harold as well. There's been a very common thread, and it's speed, 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 and more speed from the wide receiver position. And you want to throw in a little bit of physicality with that as well. I would say Josh likes his wide receivers to be able to block, and that's certainly something we will see out of Amari as well later in the breakdown. But just a fast, fast kid who you can move around. He's got good action, good hands, good hips, uh, fast feet out of the block, good hips, good square hips, and just a good looking kid, man. Super athletic, absolutely super athletic. Here we've got twins to the bottom of our screen, shotgun set. Um, can't quite tell what the down it looks like first down. My eyes might be failing me there. And Amari is going to be the X wide receiver at the top of your screen. He's going to be coming in motion on a jet sweep um, towards the bottom of the screen. There's not a lot to this play, Boogie. We were just touching on it a minute ago, being able to get north and south rather than across the field, and I thought it'd be fun to take a look at the speed of Amari Jefferson. And if you want to just let this one go, we can talk about it as it transpires. We can just pop through, fake. Actually, it was a jet sweep reverse. Just puts a foot in the ground, cuts up. It's got a nice pulling guard, and you see the breakaway speed, guys. Mari plays in a high division in Tennessee, is my understanding. I know a little bit later we'll see him against Knoxville Catholic and kind of putting it to Pancakes and Bacon's old ex squad over there at Catholic, but just a really fast, lanky kid. And moving right along here, we got Deuces again. Amari this time is going to be playing that Z wide receiver to the bottom of the screen. It's going to be running a 9 route here, or a seam or a go basically. And Boogie, why don't you let this one run just a minute, just about till the ball comes out of his hand. We can watch Amari's break again and get out of this. He's just so good at his breaks. I wanted to see those again. Just super fast, and you saw the amount of space they were giving Amari right there. Just a ton of space. Look at how far the cornerback is, and he dang near runs through him. Quarterback gets put under some pressure, lets the ball out, and about the 326, 327 mark, Amari actually gets held up here. He gets pushed a bit, gets held up a bit, still is able to make a correction with the ball in the air. Uh, Beautiful, beautiful catch, guys. Just absolute beautiful technique, back shoulder, body control. And I know it's a I know it's a baseball cliche too, just having absolute control over your body, being able to move your hips well, swivel around, and wouldn't be surprised. I don't know what position he plays, but certainly looks like he could play some shortstop or certainly center field at a high level. I'm not sure if you know where he's at, Boogie,
I'm
on
pretty
that
sure
baseball
I think
field.
he's I think he's an infielder. I believe. I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He can certainly open those hips and get vertical. Where are we at? 416.
416.
416. All right, we got twins to the top of the screen. Mari's going to be playing the Z back here. We're going to get a skinny post. This play just ball fans. This play is an absolute man's game of a play. And Boogie, I don't know if you can get it, but he's going to run this go route, and this ball's overthrown, and it's actually it's intercepted. So Amari's going to stem this corner, and then the ball's going to get picked. It gets let go a little long, and if you can refreeze it at about the 425 mark, I think you can actually see him just tear the ball straight out of the DB's arms and score the touchdown. It's just not a lot to it. Skinny post, deep ball, but just the strength of Amari and an incredible catch. Let's take a peek at this real quick. Just burst out, kind of a light change of speed. I love those changes of speed. Overthrown, DB catches it. Nope, my ball. Sorry, Charlie. Um, just absolutely man games that DB right there. That coach had to be furious, man. If I was the defensive coordinator right here, he would have had an absolute uh, one ticked off Coach J in his ear hole right here for getting this ball ripped out of his hands. Oh man, that just drive a defender absolutely mad. But hey, man, it's a grown man's game, and he just took that ball away. So awesome, awesome stuff from Amari. We're going to see a group of bubble screens over these next 3 plays. It's going to be kind of a similar theme here, and I know it's been well documented how much Hype likes to run that bubble screen, and we've seen a lot of speed out of Amari already, and we're going to just see some athleticism now on these bubble screens. Of course, Josh is going to run his splits a lot wider than Amari's offenses are here, and anytime you can give a wide receiver like Amari Jefferson more space, it's going to pay dividends. But right here, we got twins to the bottom of the screen, single wing formation. Amari's going to drift back to catch that bubble screen. And if you can refreeze it at the 159 boogie, we can talk about what we're seeing on the screen at that about that 459 mark. Yeah, see, I don't know what it has been lately on the Coach J, Boogie Bentley, Talkin VAWLS, Coach J breakdown videos, but these bubble screen, man, these wide receivers just are not blocking for their fellow wide receivers. And here you've seen a lazy, absolutely lazy job by the Y slot wide receiver of turning this guy in. But as well as the defenders put himself into position. He's got a little bit of a problem. Obviously, Amari's got a lot of shake and bake to him, but you can go ahead and let it go. You're going to see the defender totally whiff on him. Amari break to the outside, strong straight arm down into the field, and violence and toughness is a theme out of these wide receivers, and Amari channeling just a little bit of Brew McCoy with that straight arm there. Not quite the lower of the head, pop you in the mouth, but definitely a little dose of violence with the straight arm.
So we're seeing physicality, which I like. I forget what film breakdown. It might have been J.J. Harrell. We talked about his physicality. I can't remember. They all blend together at this point. But something you regularly talk about with these high school wide receivers, even the 5 stars, the higher ranked guys, no run blocking. You don't see any run blocking. Do you think that is a mistake on the coach's fault? I'm assuming the coaches kind of put these films together. Do you think it's a mistake on their fault? Or do you think it is maybe these wide receivers, high school wide receivers, don't have what they need when it comes to run blocking? And it's, a lot of times when we talk about running back, incoming running backs, freshman running backs, they don't grasp or they don't understand the pass protection because maybe they're not asked to do that as much on the high school level. What do you think it is that you're not seeing what you want to see in this tape?
Yeah, I think many wide receivers, especially high blue chip wide receivers, can be a little babied, right? Can be handed a silver spoon, if you will, and they, the coach watches the film and shoot, I'm not going to scream at my top guy. I don't want him transferring out. He's putting my high school on the map. I'm going to go ahead and hand him that silver spoon and whisper in his ear how pretty he looks with the ball in his hand, and is afraid to give him an earful. And a lot of these kids do need an earful because they just set up their fellow teammates to get lit up, and that to me is just a big no-no. You would absolutely hear it from me on that football field. I think it's something that Hype pays attention to because, as we've talked about, it is a common theme with Heupel. He likes physical wide receivers. He loves the speed and he puts that first. But if you don't have physicality and if you're not out there blocking, he's probably going to pass on you. It's that simple.
Quick reminder, guys, we got a couple Couple more plays here to look at for Amari Jefferson. If you like the film breakdowns, do us a favor, smash the thumbs up just below the video. Like I said at the top, quick, free, and easy. We appreciate it. You want to give a little bit more, hit that thanks button. It's like a super chat on a video. These don't necessarily always pull as many views. They're not the hot, sexy gossip and rumor and all that type of things. You guys like negative videos. You like negative videos. I've noticed that on YouTube. But if you dig the film breakdowns, you're 20 minutes into this thing, hit the thanks button. We would appreciate that. Got a couple of more plays to take a look at here, Coach Jay. What do we got here on? You got the bracketed 607 and 624.
Yeah. We got Deuce's single wing formation. Again, Mari is shoot, where I lost him for a second. He's going to be the slot on here. And once again, we're going to get another bubble here. He's just going to kind of fan out to the outside. These next two bracketed plays are extremely similar, Boogie, and we can go through them pretty quickly here. And I just want to show you some of his athleticism, some of Amari's shake and bake. And heck, this isn't even something that's so much technique or film breakdown. This is just old school backyard sandlot, put the ball in the athlete's hand and see what he go do with it type plays. Let's go ahead and take a look at this little bubble screen right here from Amari Jefferson. Just going to pop out. Back does a little better job, splits the in between, spins through, pops through, takes three defenders almost on the tackle to bring him down. Fighting for extra yards has also been a similar theme that we've seen from Heupel players. We've seen it from quite a few. Definitely a attribute we saw from Peyton Lewis from the running back position was those fighting through tackles. Here we have twins to the top of the screen, single back set, single wing to the right side. The wing and the right tackle are going to be pulling so that we get that counter action to the twins to the top side. Mike is already breaking out into that same bubble screen. And with that said, Boogie, we can just go ahead and take a look at that athleticism again out of Amari Jefferson. I'll tell you guys, this kid's got a lot of shake and bake, a lot like Ryan Wingo, a lot like Nathan Laycock, spins out of that L1 button, pops through, and just gets those extra tough yards, those yards that really mean something, man. It's a game of inches. I know it's cliche, but I'll take those inches. I'll take those inches every time. Forgive me if I'm wrong here, but it looks like Knoxville Catholic, right? Looks like the old pancakes and bacon team. I could be wrong on my team colors, but forgive me, I'm not from that neck of the woods, ladies and gentlemen. And the reason we're picking up this play in the middle, Amari is going to be the wide receiver. It's kind of got the yellow below him, all the way on the top of the screen. The running back's kind of in the middle of those yellow stripes on your screen. And a lot of players here might try that straight on block that is setting up for Amari right here. But what Amari is going to do is actually get deep into this defender, and he's going to turn him the way the defender has given him the ability to turn him. So just a beautiful football IQ from Amari Jefferson, and knowing how to position your body correctly in a block. I think a lot of wide receivers can block straight up, and get a hard thrust out with their hands and thumbs up. But when it comes to really turning, using your hips and understanding leverage, a lot of wide receivers are really lacking in this. And it's the reason I wanted to show it to you guys. And Boogie, why don't you go ahead and let it run? Let's watch Amari just kind of turn this play out right here. Beautiful job bringing him the way he wants to go. Gets his team an extra 10 yards. And those are the inches we need to win football games, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing looking football player, a ton of speed. There were just many plays on that film that we didn't go over that were just those big 9 go route basket catch plays, those super fast slant plays. But I definitely want to showcase some physicality and some of his shake and bake. I think he's a player we can use all over the field. And I think he's a player that's going to closely mimic what we'll use Nathan Laycock, and even sooner, soon to come, what you'll see Deontay Thornton doing on the field this year for the Tennessee Volunteers.
Tennessee's got a loaded wide receiver room. I say it all the time. It's not a position I really worry about recruiting wise because Tennessee's just going to be, they're going to be just fine no matter who they get. Heupel is going to continue to develop guys and get them to the league. But how much better can this offense get when you start adding guys like Amari Jefferson, Ryan Wingo, Mike Matthews, whoever they get? Go show Amari Jefferson some love. I should probably do this more often on the film breakdowns at Amari Jefferson 6 on Twitter. Go give him a follow. Go tweet at him. Don't DM him. That's weird. Don't DM recruits. Don't do that. But if you tweet them some love, they're going to appreciate it. When they're tweeting, where should I go? Drop those Tennessee gifts in the comments. Show them some love. Those guys appreciate the attention. I can promise you that. That's another one in the books. 4-star wide receiver Amari Jefferson set to visit Tennessee on June the 23rd, along with Mike Matthews, and hopefully Boo Carter is a Vol commit and will be in town as well. But that's going to do it for this one. We'll be back next Sunday breaking down 5-star wide receiver Mike Matthews. So come check that out. He's Coach Jay. My name is Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin' VAWLS Network. Go Big Orange.